Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and I work with a lot of individuals with attachment wounds. Now, I predominantly work with avoidant individuals. However, I have had my fair share of anxious, preoccupied individuals, both in individual and couples therapy. I've even done some family as well. And so I do have my understanding of anxious, attached individuals. And today I wanted to go over something that I feel like they really need in a relationship to feel happy and secure and open up. And usually this helps them to have some of their behaviors decrease. A lot of them activate, get very triggered. And by adding these things in the relationship, if you have an anxious partner, you can really help them to reduce some of those behaviors so you can get the space that you need, that you can feel like, okay, I'm doing good in this relationship. I'm helping them. I'm making them feel secure. And you can also feel, okay, I feel like this person, because anxious individuals, once they open up, they're very loyal, right? And they really want love. And so once you are able to give these things to your partner, they trust you. And they're not going to snoop as much. They're not going to crash out if you say something. They're going to start trusting you. They're going to start not being so reactive because you gave them these aspects that they feel like, okay, maybe I don't need to always be so cautious. Maybe I really can have love. Maybe I am lovable, right? And so that's kind of what I wanted to discuss today. And I do want to mention, because I don't work with a lot of individuals who are anxious preoccupied, anybody who is anxious preoccupied, I would really like if you guys could discuss in the comments what you feel about this. Let me know so that I can learn and also help my patients and help you guys, because I do want to learn. I like to. And so please let me know what you guys think about this and anything I can add, because I'd love to make more videos for you guys in this regard. I don't make as much for anxious individuals because I don't see many of you guys, honestly. But I want to learn, so please help me out, okay? Let's go ahead and jump right in. And this one I notice a lot, and it's not a lot to ask at all. So any individual, if you guys are with an anxious partner, it doesn't need to be a whole lot, just a little, and it's consistency. It doesn't mean you have to text them every hour. Just text them good morning every day, and maybe a 5-minute phone call before bed, maybe a text here and there throughout the day. It's fine. That's really, sometimes it's even less than that, but really, as long as you're consistent and you don't disappear for days, I promise you your anxious partner will be very happy. They're going to feel pretty secure. Just a little bit of consistency. And typically, that's not really hard. And a lot of individuals, especially if you're an avoidant, you do typically know that's not much to ask. And sometimes you guys just don't want to because it makes you feel like someone's controlling you. But understand that if you really want this to work with your partner and you don't want them to get emotional and you don't want them to crash out and say things that they don't mean and you don't want to hurt your partner, being consistent is a really easy way to make them feel like they can trust you, okay? So being consistent is very important. And I had mentioned an example of that is just simple texting. But another thing is a lot of, I noticed this with a lot of anxious attached individuals. Not all of you guys, but a lot of individuals who are anxiously attached, they like FaceTime calls. Sometimes it just makes them feel more connected to you. And that'll help, especially with long distance relationships. Sometimes they just want to see your face. A lot of individuals who are avoidantly attached, it's hard for you guys to conceptualize that. And I get that, I do. But an anxious individual, they really like that FaceTime. They like to see your face. They like to talk to you. I've had a lot of anxious patients that like to say they just want a FaceTime before bed. Like even 5 minutes, they really, really like that. It's not a lot. It's pretty endearing, just that connection. So that's really important, consistency, okay? The next one, and this one probably should be in bold, okay? And it's really important to not get frustrated about this because this is really going to help them heal a lot, and it's reassurance. Now, I want to bring something up. If you're an avoidant individual and you get frustrated about reassuring your partner, I get that. I know that it's a lot. It really is a lot. But I want to say something that I think will be important. If they're healing and they're willing to heal their wounds, the more you reassure them, the less they're going to ask. If they're healing. I know sometimes if they're not healing and they're not willing to change, no matter how much you reassure them, they just need it more and more. I get that. And I'm being honest with you guys. If you're an anxious individual, you know that's true sometimes, right? I'm not trying to hurt you. I want to be honest so that everyone can, I just want you guys to love each other and have happy, healthy relationships, okay? And that's why I have to be honest with you, okay? But if your anxious partner is really healing and wanting to do the work to change, you giving them reassurance will only make it easier for them. It's going to help them. Reassure them. No, I wasn't, out with X, Y, and Z. I was watching football with my buddy, and it was just me, him, and his mom. There's nobody else there. There wasn't any girls there, right? I did forget to text you. I was taking a nap, and I really mean that. I'm not making that an excuse. I really fell asleep. I had a really long day, and I woke up really early, and after work, I just took a shower and fell asleep. I probably should have told you, but, mistakes happen, and I'm sorry, and I'm awake now. If you want to talk or call, let me know. I'm available now, right? Little bit of reassurance. It's okay. You do look nice in that dress. I really like it. Or, you know what? You really are a good man. Don't worry about X, Y, and Z. I think you're a great guy. Don't worry. You do make me feel loved. Sometimes I'm just distant. Whatever your reassurance needs to be, provide that. You guys are partners, because your partner can't adjust and change, at least not easily. And they're not going to feel supported by you either if you let them do all the work. You coming and meeting them in the middle really helps your partner. So it's really important, reassurance. The next one, and this, I don't know how to word it. It's more like something I observe in session. It's like a sturdy composure. So let me explain. Let's say an anxious attached individual, they're worrying about something, and maybe you're an avoidant individual, and you don't really think it's something to worry about, but they're worrying. They're thinking, oh my God, like, did I hurt this person's feelings? Or why is my friend not answering my message? What's going on? Instead of telling them, you're being annoying, you're being difficult, like, why are you always like this? Or worrying with them, maintain a sturdy composure, because it allows them to feel safety, and mention something. When I mean sturdy, I mean don't waver in one emotion to the next. And I know that sounds kind of hard, and I understand that sometimes it's hard because individuals who are anxiously attached, they have so many emotions, right? So full of emotion. Sometimes it's, you don't even know where it's coming from, right? But it's really important to just not let those emotions affect you as a person, because it can be hard, right? If they're really angry and they're just blowing up at you and crashing out and saying all these things, you feel angry, right? You're feeling angry. Why are you saying this to me? Why are you being so disrespectful? Just remember that they're coming most of the time, almost all the time, when anxious individuals react like that, it's because they're coming from a place of hurt. So maintain a composure, a sturdy composure. Don't let it affect you. If they're being really emotional, my friend is not answering me, why do my friends hate me? I'm so unlovable. This is so unfair. I feel so sad. I don't know what to do. X, Y, and Z. Don't let that flood into you. Don't become angry. Don't tell them they're annoying. Don't run away and disappear. This is the moment where you need to remain composed, because it helps them to recognize, because you can model that behavior for them. If you're starting to feel tense and upset, when you compose yourself, subconsciously, you're modeling how they should behave when they're getting worried about something, right? And so as you compose yourself, you could mention, I hear what you're saying. That's unfortunate that your friend's not answering, but I think they're going to answer soon. Isn't this friend the one that's working on a script for that movie? I think they're probably really busy. If not, and they don't answer, maybe they're not even that good of a friend. Or maybe they need space, whatever it is that you have to say, but don't let their emotions affect your emotions. Because then two people are having emotions, that's going to create issues typically, okay? So sturdy composure. The next one, and this one's going to help a lot, okay? And it's willingness to fight for the relationship. Now, I know if you're an avoidant individual, this one's a little tricky. But in general, all that it really means is just showing up for the relationship when you feel like it's on the edge and you feel like, okay, we're losing grip. Just say to the anxious individual, and this will mean a lot to a lot of them, say, okay, I want to do what it takes to make it work. I can't guarantee anything, because a lot of times avoidant individuals, it's hard to change, right? And anxious individuals, sometimes, and I'm being honest with you guys, sometimes you have like a huge list. This is what it looks like to an avoidant individual. You guys have like a very huge and very specific list to feel heard and seen and loved. And sometimes an avoidant individual cannot do that right away. But to meet in the middle, an avoidant individual, just say that you want this relationship to work. I'm trying. I really, if I could do those things, I really would, but I can't right now. But please, I want you to see what I am doing because I'm showing up here for this relationship. If I didn't want to be here, I wouldn't be here. I am fighting for the relationship, whether you see it or not. Just let them know that this relationship is important, whatever way, because they can't see it. Typically, why anxious individuals have such a big list is because they need so much reassurance to believe that you want this relationship. But if you just cut through all of that, all they want is just you to say that you want to be here, that you want to fight for the relationship. So just say that and continue to say that. I know it can be a little frustrating, but as you tell them, if they're, like I mentioned, if they're willing to do the work, you will get through to them, okay? And this one, I think a lot of people are not going to like this, but I want to be honest, okay? Sometimes individuals who are anxiously attached, they don't know how they feel. And everybody's like this, but anxious individuals, they do it a lot when they're upset about something. They're really mad about something. Sorry about the camera shake. They're really upset about something, right? And they're mad at you about whatever, and they're picking on you and saying you're this way, you're that way, you're messy, you do this. A lot of anxious individuals, unfortunately, when your emotions build, it can get really high, and it can be very unhealthy. Sometimes it can almost, if it's too much, it can be very verbally abusive, depending on how extreme it is. So please be careful with it. I know you guys don't mean to, but it really can come across that way. So be careful with that if you're an anxious individual. But anyways, let's just say they're saying to their partner, you're messy, you never answer my calls, X, Y, and Z. And the real reason they're upset is maybe 2 days ago you forgot to answer one of their messages because you fell asleep. The anxious individual, sometimes they don't know that's what's bothering them. Seriously, I know that sounds silly, but a lot of anxious individuals, they actually don't always know what's bothering them. Even when they're saying, a lot of anxious individuals, they struggle, they transfer a lot. Transference is common in therapy, where they may even crash out to the therapist because they're mad. Oh, you're supporting my partner, X, Y, and Z. You're this way, you're that way. And they transfer their fears. They transfer what they feel about their partner or how they're feeling onto the therapist. That happens a lot, and it's very common with anxious preoccupied. And they do that with their partners too. Sometimes they're transferring something that happened at work on their partners, or something that their partner happened previously that they don't know how to feel, and so they bottle it up so much, and now it's exploding in so many different ways. Sometimes you as a partner, this may sound like a lot, but it really will help if sometimes you try and pay attention. Is there something that I did that could have made them upset? You can even ask them, look, you're really upset. You're not normally this upset about me not doing the dishes, or you're not normally this upset, or you're not normally saying I'm lazy or whatever it is. And that really hurts my feelings. Is there something that I said earlier that's bothering you? I know I took a nap a couple days ago and I didn't answer my message. Is that what's bothering you? If it is, I'm really sorry. I promise I just took a nap. But please, don't say this to me. It hurts me. I know you don't mean it, and I know you feel like I don't love you. I do. I just fell asleep, right? And then you can calm them down. Usually that's really all they need. And I know as as a person who's with an anxious attached individual, it's hard to navigate what's going on. A lot of times it's hard to navigate what's going on. But just try to remember that really deep inside a lot of their triggers, all they want to know is that you love them. Like 9 out of 10 times, if you say, I love you, they're going to calm down. And so that's really important. It's when you say it like that, it's really not that bad, right? So please try to remember that, okay? I hope this video was helpful for somebody. Please subscribe, like, and I'll see you in the next one.